Hi everyone, welcome to World of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is a replay sent to me from Bautista from ANZAF clan, one of the Aussie and Kiwi clans that get around on the global map. They do, similar to MI6, they do tier 6s, tier 8s and tier 10s, depending on how they're feeling on the day, I guess. Now this is a replay that I'm going to start directing people to watch when they start complaining about matchmaking. Bautista is in his little T37, a tier 6 light tank, and he's in a tier 9 game, which is pretty, doesn't get much more spread out than that, the matchmaking, and you can see that people are already complaining in the in-game chat about matchmaking, about being bottom tier, but some of the ones that are complaining are actually tier 7s, whereas Bautista is only a tier 6. Now the T37 American Tier 6 light tank is one of the preferred tanks in strongholds at Tier 6 and as well as clan wars. We've had some massive success on the Tier 6 map running all T37s. They're quick, they've got a good rate of fire, good DPM and not a bad view range either. Now Bautista has spotted the IS-3 and the T10, and quite rightfully he doesn't run right in front of him because they would probably kill him with not much more than one shot each. In fact, one shot each would take Bautista out of the game. He's just stopping to type something in the chat because he knows somebody from what university, Southeast Asian clan, who's in this game. And that's another clan that often send me replays, which I'm very grateful for. I haven't been doing many replays lately. I've been very busy with work and other stuff around the house, but I've got a few replays to do today, and hopefully this one gets up this afternoon. Now it's a bit of a slow start at the moment, but you're about to see exactly what a T37 can do if you play it properly in this tier 9 game. Now there's only 3 tier 9s on the enemy side, one's artillery, you've got the T54 and the T10, but look at the other lineup, look at all these tanks here. The IS-3, the T-32, the T-34, as well as those tier 8 mediums, they could all do a hell of a lot of damage to a little T-37 at tier 6. But Bautista he's keeping one eye on the map. He knows where the enemy tanks seem to have lined up. There's a fair few on the 9-0 line, which isn't a bad place for a lot of tanks to go on this Overlord map. And he knows now's the time to get stuck in. His team's starting to crumble around that one line, and that shot you just saw then was a shot for 1,575 damage into the T10. Whether he ammo racked him or not, I'm not sure, but that was massive. And so he's running away now because his team have still crumbled on the 9-0 line. But it's a very good start to his damage count. You can see in the top right side of the screen there, they're the mods on my interface, how much damage he's done. He's done 1,839 damage already, which gives him purple stats, a WN8 of 4,449 already. But Tim Bob hasn't finished yet. He's Tim Bob. Bautista hasn't finished yet. He's got some more work to do if he's going to help his team win. You can see the good rate of fire on this tank. This tank puts a bullet out about every 3 seconds, which is very handy for chipping away at some of those higher tier tanks that might be there. He's taking some blind shots into where those tank destroyers were last seen. Now he's auto-aimed on that T49. The T49's not looking at him. The T49's looks like he's focused on the Centurion, and he's also reloading. I don't know if Bautista has got the same reload mod that I've got on, which tells him how long until that tank's reloaded, but he's doing exactly the right thing and getting out of the way of that T49 who could one-shot if he penetrates him, assuming he's got the big gun. But fires and misses, that's the downside of the T49. It is a rather inaccurate gun, and Bautista picks up his second kill, getting rid of the very handy, very derpy T49 Tier 8 American light tank. Bautista's team is slowly clawing their way back. Only down by one tank now. They were down by about 3, I think, not so long ago. The IS-2 and the IS-3 looks like they're looking for the Centurion, who was last spotted at C0. And Beach Dasbro is getting into the centre of the map where he could probably do the most spotting from the middle up here near the windmill to work out where the rest of those enemy tanks are. Those two T-25s, are they both still camping at the back of the map, or have they moved on? That's what he's trying to work out for his team. Object 416, very handy tank to get rid of. He's using premium ammunition to make sure he penetrates and gets the kill shot, because it's got a pretty good amount of armour, the Object 416. It's a weird tank. It looks weird, but it's not a bad tank to play. It's still down by one tank. Beach Dasbro's already picked up 3 kills, and you can see he's done over 3,000 damage. And his WN8 nudging 12,000. He catches this T-25 2 napping, and 2 shots should be all it takes to kill him, but he's gotten away. He takes a shot from the other T-25, which damages his ammo rack, which he repairs straight away, and then gets rid of the T-25 AT. Now looking at, you can see Beach Dasbro's got 2 marks of excellence on his tank, and later on the day that he had this awesome game, or it might have been the day after, he actually picked up his 3rd mark of excellence on this tank. So it's obviously a tank he really likes. He knows exactly what to do. He's still got half of his hit points too, which is very handy at the late stage of the game. They're up by a tank now, thanks to Beach Dasbro's 4 kills. Fires that one clutch and doesn't quite connect, but now he's on his own, but he's pretty confident that with only 27 hit points, takes it out without taking a shot of damage himself. 13-11 now. And Beach Dasbro will be thinking, "You'll beauty, there's the artillery." That's another tank that's pretty easy to penetrate, even though it's a tier 9. And you'll be thinking, look at all that bonus experience you get for when you're a low tier tank. In a high tier game, there is a bonus experience multiplier, which you'll see in the post-game battle results shortly. Keeps the premium ammunition loaded for the Carnarvon, but the Carnarvon's on 683 hit points, and he's about to run out of premium ammo, I think. But using it on that Carnarvon is absolutely the right thing to do. He's praying to all the gods for that artillery to hopefully put a shot into the Carnarvon. That's the thing with the most hit points, but I'm pretty sure that Beach Dasbro's artillery's got his hands full with that M5355, the tier 9 American artillery, which has just taken him out of the game. So he's on 5 kills. 3,500 damage, shoots and misses, and he's a one shot for that Carnarvon, so he needs to be really, really careful. You want that IS-3 to come and help him, ideally. That's both the enemy tanks are there, and I think if Beach Dasbro had a 3rd hand, he'd probably be typing in the chat saying, "Hey, come and help me, you banana head, come and give us a hand, I'm struggling here." T-37 versus a Carnarvon with a little artillery behind him, you would put your money on the Carnarvon every time. But he's now out of premium ammunition, but the Carnarvon's being very generous and showing him his sides, and he's just chipping away. That artillery can't shoot Beach Dasbro from where he is, but the IS-3 finally comes into the game and gets rid of that Carnarvon, which is the main danger to this game. I'm just going to zoom out now. You can see that the artillery is now running away down towards the water. Beach Dasbro auto aims on him and says, "You beauty," is running away. He's facing the opposite way. He doesn't have a full turret, the M5355, so he knows he can just keep going, auto aim, and chip away at it to get some more shots. One more shot for the top gun. Will he get it? Yes, he does. What an awesome game by Beach Dasbro and the T37. As we move on to the post-game battle results and have a look at this. Mastery badge, Ace Tanker. Got a bruiser for doing some module damage. Demolition export, because that's that T10 at the start of the game, which gave Beach Dasbro such a big springboard to leap from for all the damage that he ended up doing. It was a really good start to the game with, I think it was about 15 or 1800 damage. Fire for effect. All X medal for killing 3 or more enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a light tank, and those tanks are at least 2 tiers higher than the player's tank. Well, just about all the enemy team were 2 tiers higher. Most of them were tier 8s and 9s, and with a few tier 7s in there. High caliber for the absolute massive carry, and the top gun for killing 6 or more enemy tanks. Looking at all these tanks that he spotted, killed and destroyed. How do you end up spotting 3 tanks? But more than made up for that with the amount of damage that he did, which you can see on that first screen. You can see 9,702 experience. That's with a triple. You can see that's with a triple. But base experience of 2,156. That's absolute massive with 4,349 damage done. He's done more damage than anyone else on either team by an absolute mile, and more than double the damage of what most of his tanks on his side did. That's a massive game from Beach Dasbro in his little T37. Tier 9 game. So next time you see someone complaining about Matchmaker, especially in a light tank, point him to this replay where you see Beach Dasbro and his T37 absolutely carrying a Tier 9 game. Before I start losing my voice, you can see he's fired 39 shots, 29 of them hit. So those 10 shots that missed, a lot of those were those blind shots that he was firing towards the tank destroyers in the middle of the game, as well as a few unlucky shots that just missed. 28 of them did damage, so all but one of the shots that he fired that hit actually penetrated and did some damage, of course including that massive ammo rack at the start of the game. And on the detailed report, you can see he lost a bit of dough because he fired all of his premium ammunition, but 4,349 damage, that is a massive amount of damage, and only 700 of it was from more than 300 metres away, so 3,500 of the damage, he was up close and personal with those enemy tanks, including that Carnarvon and T-49 and some of the other tanks that Beach Dasbro was getting in there and having a real crack in his little T37. That is a massive game. That's one of the best games I've seen for a long time. A massive thanks to Beach Dasbro for the replay. That is a massive game. I still can't believe it. I've watched it a few times and I still cannot believe what an awesome game that was. Well done, mate, and well done on getting a 3rd mark of excellence on the T37, which I guess was just a few games after this one, or maybe the next day. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this replay. Feel free to make some comments below. It was a massive carry. Tier 9 game, T37, Tier 6, Beach Dasbro, you are a champion. Have a good day, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.